What is up, everybody? This is Zach Rice. We're back with more of Avernum Escape from the Pit. Here we are at the Freehold of Kyass now, which we're going to clear out the intentions of Kyass and also whatever aid that Kyass needed. So let's go ahead and proceed here. Out in the middle of the wilds of the underworld, you have found a fortress. It is a strange place, haphazard but solid. The thick stone walls go off at crazy angles and don't seem to have been planned in any way, but they are solid and ready to withstand a serious assault. The people within the fort are just as odd. They are a motley mix of humans, Nephilim, and Silzerikai, all dirty, serious, and heavily armed. And yet, somehow, they seem to be working together peacefully to maintain and expand this keep. As you enter, a guard looks out at you through an arrow slit. Welcome to the Freehold of Kyass, Avernite. No robbing, no fighting, no causing trouble. Disobey and punishment comes fast. Oh, and Kyass will want to see you. Southwest Tower. The guard leans back in his chair, no longer interested in you. That was all the welcome to the Freehold you are likely to get. A tall, rough man walks around the fort, inspecting the fortifications. He occasionally lets out a low grumble of approval, or disapproval. You aren't sure. They are vague grumbles. When he sees you, he nods a greeting. Avernites, eh? I'm Hornby. Watch yourself. He passed the whip hanging from his belt. We have laws. Where are you from? The Abyss. Why'd you leave? No laws, no order, no future. It's a bad place. Hornby lurks nearby, watching you for the slightest sign of disobedience or law breaking. Tell me about your laws. No surprises, no fighting, no stealing, no spreading lies and rumors. You have something to say about someone? Say it to their face. Break a law? You get punished. By me. You hand out the punishments. Yes, I love it. What sorts of punishments? The stocks, flogging, banishment, death, whatever Kyass decides. Harsh punishments. We like them harsh. Why so harsh? The underworld is harsh. We have to be harsh to survive it. Move on now. I'll be watching you. He walks 20 feet away and, as promised, watches you. Oh, it is clearly a functioning society and all this. Let's go ahead and explore the outside real quick, though. Then we can go right into the main area. Although it looks like if there are Nephilim and Silzerikai here, then it could be a sign that humans and Nephilim and Silzerikai can actually get along. Even if most of them want to kill us right now. You enter a large meeting hall where Kyass does all of his business. He is trying for a grand look, but not quite making it. There is a stained carpet on the floor and cracked vases along the walls. All stolen, most likely. Kyass himself leans back in a chair at the end of a cavewood table. He watches you with understandable interest. He himself is a muscular man of middling height. He wears an iron breastplate and a halberd rests on the table in front of him. His skin still bears traces of having been in the sun, and his long, shaggy black hair hasn't seen the intentions of a comb in some time. Ah, the adventurer. Come in. He motions for you to approach. You are a unique visitor out here in the wilds, and I might be able to do business with you. Kyass motions for you to sit at the table with them. The chairs, carved from cavewood, are quite comfortable. Like everything else in the Freehold, they are ugly, but entirely functional. I am Kyass, and this is my Freehold. This is the center of a new, proud nation in the underworld. I know that Avernum will be unhappy to hear it, but it does not deserve to be the only power down below. All who come in peace are welcome here. Those with skills can find valuable employment. Those who cause disruptions and shirk my laws are punished. Harshly. Now that all of that is out of the way, we can speak. If you aren't a lackey of King Micah, I might have profitable work for you. Tell me about this place. This is the Freehold of Kyass. It is the beginning of a new, proud nation. We are starting here, but we will expand to the northern tunnels and low caverns. That is, of course, we will expand if we can survive the attacks of our foes. Based on what principles? Freedom, strength, expansion toward unclaimed lands, not bowing to kings and trying to make a little copy of the Empire in the Underworld, like Avernum does. No offense. Our Freehold will have no kings. My orders are obeyed because people see strength and wisdom in them. When I am no longer able to command respect, another can be raised to replace me. That is a promise I make to all who live here. And who will lead this new nation? Me, of course, for as long as I can convince our people that I am wise enough to guide them. He waves grandly at the walls around him. I have done well so far, but I must prove myself anew every day. Isn't the Abyss already a nation apart from Avernum? The Abyss? A nest of thugs, killers, and malcontents. Don't insult me by comparing us to them. If they are lucky, one day I will allow them to join our Freehold. What threats do you face? There are two great threats facing us, the barbarian Slazerikai and Avernum itself. Tell me about Avernum. These caves are huge. There is more than enough room for many people, many states. Why, I suspect that the low tunnels to the north contain plenty of room for expansion. Avernum does not agree. They want all the land everywhere for themselves. I will not follow those who would only create a new empire under the earth. How have you survived Slazerikai? Luck. If they focused on us, they could destroy us easily. Instead, happily, their forces are mainly arrayed against the Great Cave, far from us. Kyass sits comfortably in his cave-wood throne. I always have time to speak with proud adventurers of Avernum. What would you discuss? So even though he's not the biggest fan of Avernum, and has his own ideals about, you know, having his own, like, part of the caves, he is still welcoming to Avernites overall. Where are you from? The Empire, same as you. I've only been in the underworld for 5 years. 5 busy years. Why were you cast into Avernum? A tragic inability to keep my mouth shut in the face of stupidity and cruelty. Where did you go when you arrived? Everywhere, for Mellow, the Great Cave, even the Abyss. I am a natural wanderer, and in time I gathered friends around me to join me in my travels. Eventually, I saw that if there was a principle in the underworld, I would have to create it. After months of wandering, we chose this unclaimed plain as a place to start our new nation. Can I get supplies and training here? Of course. First, however, you must prove to the freeholders that you are worthy of being traded with. How can I do that? By doing services for me and for my warriors. The more you do, the more aid you can find, and the lower the prices you will be charged for it. As you have done nothing for us at this point, you should expect little aid. You have employment for me. I'm glad that you asked. If you approve of the freehold, you can aid us in our survival. In return, we will open our hearts to you and you can find aid. The first task is a simple one. The northeast tower of the freehold has been occupied by a band of brigands. They are led by a former Empire soldier, Sinak, who was exiled from the surface. Evict them, using force of arms if necessary. They are in one of your towers? Yes, bar themselves in with a considerable supply of food. You will have to find a way to slip into the tower to reach them. Why won't you kill them? Sinak was one of the earliest freeholders. Once, I even called him friend. Then he questioned my role, but few would follow him. In a fit of pique, he and his dirty rogues claimed one of our towers for his own. Its life is forfeit for this attack, but he was still a soldier of the Empire. I would not kill such a one directly, as it might attract certain grudges against my precious freehold. That is why I ask an Avernite to do the deed. Why don't you just starve them out? Because when Sinak seized the tower, they claimed months of food. We could starve them out eventually, but it would take too long and be too much of a distraction. We need to concentrate on building our defenses. I was sent here by the castle to speak with you. Kyass is instantly alert. He leans forward. You know that his hand comes to rest close to his halberd. Go on. I've been sent to question you regarding your intentions. He leans back and laughs. We have never made it a secret. They haven't changed since they last asked. They have never changed. We will claim all of the empty northern caverns and continue to expand north and down. We are no threat to Avernum, but we do not accept that they own the entire underworld. They won't like hearing that. Ask me if I care. You have your message, now lead me. I have much to ponder. Honestly, I think we would get way more benefit if we helped. I ask anyway, and it's Freehold. The kitchen staff of Kyass's tower sit you down and feed you a decent meal. You know, say that they are all armed and armored. Everyone in the Freehold is prepared for an attack at any time. Most of the people are warriors. They come from all races, bound together to make an independent nation in the underworld. They are very rough swords, quick to take insult and eager for a fight. They regard you with great skepticism and don't bother to talk to you. They only say that Kyass can be found in the southwest tower. Okay, well, we're not going to steal directly in front of him, though. Wherever this is. There is a Sarakai sitting at this table, drawing elaborate designs on the sheet of papyrus. He looks up at you nervously when you approach. An Avernite? I am a Slith, but I am no killer. I am Evis, sage, here in peace, teaching arcane arts and studying. Where are you from? I am from Nath, a Slith town in the Great Cave, a little town surrounded by Avernite. Alone and unprotected. Then I came here. How did you get here? The way all do. I found a tiny caravan come to sell goods here. I joined it, defended on its way, came to Kyass. Was accepted here. You didn't feel safe in Nass? No. Avernites say many words. Say they accept peaceful Sarakai. Say they mean us no harm, but I see look in their eyes. Hear what they say when they think we don't listen. And what do they think? They say they accept us, but they hate us. They always will. So I came here. It is a dangerous place, but we are accepted here. As Evis speaks with you, she nervously doodles on one of her papyrus scraps. She seems to be afraid that you might attack her at any moment. What do you do for Kyass? The Sarakai mastered the arts of magic many years before you humans came to these caves. I use my spells. I teach, I help to defend. Also, I hunt for magical tomes to add to our power. You teach magic. To those who help Kyass. To those who help the Freehold and keep us safe. Why do you fight for Kyass? My only other choices are to be a savage barbarian or to be at the mercy of Avernum. I do not want either. Who do you defend against? Attacks. The giants and the savage Sarakai are the worst, but many brigands and goblins and pests come here. I help punish them for foolishness. Any particular magical tomes you were looking for? There is one that I have heard about. There is a dragon named Pyrog who lives near here, a savage creature. She came once to parley with us. She lorded over us that she had a tome of magic. If you could steal it from that creature and give it to us, I would give you a reward. I would also tell Kyass that you have acted to help us. Others will seek the tome, I have no doubt. But the gratitude of Kyass is valuable. You teach the arcane arts. I can. The more Kyass has helped, the more help I can give. You have not helped Kyass at all, though, so I will not help you. Okay, that's more than fair. A target range has been set up in this corner of the fort. A Nefera warrior watches carefully as one of his students takes aim at the targets by the west wall. The Nefera occasionally reprimands his student with a sharp blow to the head or shoulders. After you watch for a while, the Nefera turns and nods to you. I am Horror of the Fang. I teach. Of the Fang? I am of the Fang clan, though I hunt with them no more. They do not see wisdom. When they do, I will return. Why did you come to the Freehold? Because the Fang clan wages war on Avernum. It is madness. The Empire is a true enemy. I was driven out. Driven out? I questioned our chieftains. I pointed to the wisdom they lacked. I was told I could leave or die. I left. But they will take me back one day when they see I was right. You think Avernum and the Nephilim can be friends? Friends is, how you say, a strong word. We can have peace. We must have peace. Horror of the Fang continues to silently watch his students. The pupil's collection of bruises constantly increases. Can you train me? I can, but only if you earn it. Only if you aid the Freehold more than you have. Talk to Kyass. One of the main ways the Freehold gains supplies is by gathering and trading alchemical herbs. The chamber is where they are gathered and dried. A young woman walks up to you, wiping her hands on the front of her dress. Welcome, warrior. I am Kendrew, a trader for Kyass. What brings you to the Freehold? She sighs. I followed a man. He turned out to be a thug. Kyass kicked him out, and he went to the abyss. But Kyass kept me. He saw that I have skills. Such as? I am a natural trader. I have a good smile, and I drive hard bargains. I had my own shop on the surface. I brought those skills down here. For example, I am very good at finding things we need. Why were you sent to Avernum? Because while I was skilled at running a business, I may have neglected to pay as many of my taxes as I should have. What do you need? Alas, some of our warriors have been falling ill. The stink of this cave can afflict them. Evis tells me that she can make a brew that will sustain them. And all she needs is a single tuft of grey mold, a very rare herb. Bring me a small amount of grey mold, and I will reward you with rare and valuable potions. What do you think of the Freehold and its goals? I don't pay attention to politics. It seems as safe as a place in this horrible pit as any. I'd like to trade with you. Kendra perks up, but then she shakes her head. I'm sorry. Kyass told me not to trade with outsiders until they do something to help him. You should talk to Kyass. I found some grey mold. He collects the grey mold, inspects it, and seals it in a jar. Very good. Here is your promised reward. He disappears upstairs and soon returns with a pair of ceramic vials. I don't need anything. Alright, thank you. Come again. Okay, so we got a couple... Okay, so we do have to help Kyass out before we can do more. Before we get more of our inventory, it looks like. I don't necessarily want to steal either. A battle crystal and a platinum ring. Let's head back in here. There's the Tower of Senak, but I guess we have to find a way to get there. Alright, gonna stay out of Kyass's quarters. Okay, so it looks like we have to go through this way. You slip into the northeast tower of the Freehold and are immediately assaulted by a powerful stench. Unwashed laundry and bodies, piles of trash, stored rations just starting to rot. This place desperately needs to be aired out. You hear low muttering coming from the chambers ahead. This tower is occupied, and you aren't sure how welcoming its inhabitants will be to uninvited intruders. Make sure I hit all of them. Dang it. Do another round of adrenaline rush here. Oh, I did not want to. I'm going to put that in the junk bag. I did not mean to use it. Dagnabbit. Okay, a lot of. Cavewood bow. The leader of the brigands turns to face you. You can see that he wears the tattered armor of an Empire soldier. Perhaps he was allowed to wear it when he was cast into the underworld. He points his blade at you unsteadily. You can see faint green stains around his lips. Odd. He slurs. You come in here? You fight me? You know who I am? Sergeant Senak of the Empire Guard. You dare fight an Empire soldier? You know how many friends I have? I'll kill you for this insult. And he lunges at you. Even in his unsteady state, he is a formidable warrior. That's enough of that. Oh, I battled this one's hadn't gone out yet. I think a lot of that knockback ability. Oh, how did I hit me? Okay, there we go. Okay, let's do this. Okay, she hasn't regenerated yet. I honestly should have moved Beatrix a little bit back here. Yeah. Ooh, at least we killed him, though. So yeah, he was decently strong, at least. Okay, that would have been good if I had an archer in my party, which I don't. Well, at least you'll have a way to get there and air it out, clean it, stuff like that. Stenak will trouble you no longer. I am relieved to hear it, but sad as well. I knew when he found that store of Scribane in the abyss that he would come to a bad end. Scribane? You've never heard of that. I will send word about the Freehold that you have aided us. I will also allow you to keep any treasures you found in the tower. And if you would continue to aid us, just ask. We have scavenged some precious treasures to tempt you. What else can I do for you? Recruitment. Our Freehold must concentrate on its defenses before all else. For that reason, we seek to recruit mages to aid in our defense. I have heard rumors that one of the wizards in Patrick's Tower, by the name Lethem, is bored and seeks opportunity. Convince him to join me. I don't think it will be difficult. Why don't you go yourself? Because at this point we only survive by not being attacked. If Avernum learned that my people were entering its lands to seduce away its mages, he shakes his head. You are an Avernite. You can get away with it. I will do what I can. I am glad. I assure you the reward will be worth it. Alright, is there anything we can get right now, though? I've helped Kyass teach me some spells. This is already stuff I know pretty much, but... Evis has mastered a wide range of magical knowledge, and she will share it with you in return for contributions to the Freehold. The more you do for the Freehold, the lower her prices are. Okay, so that's pretty pricey, but at least we... would like to trade with you. Kendra perks up. Certainly, I've heard that you have helped the Freehold. I can buy and sell, and when you help us more, I will charge lower prices. Let me see your wares. Kendra is a primary trader for Freehold. The more you do for the Freehold, the lower her prices are. Okay, so this is an easy way to get, like... I would like to sell something. Can you train me? Okay, so we can't get any training quite yet, but we can. Move on here. And now we'll go back to Thantria and also Hopton and the castle. Alright, so let's go ahead and head back here to Opera, and then we'll have Hopton and Thantria know about Kyass. And of course, I do have these other quests here that we got from there. Recruitment Patrick's Tower, which we'll get to whenever we can, but I do have to explore more towns first, and also Ivarog's Knowledge, which actually is one of the few quests in the game which you can give to one of 3 people. Evis is one of them. And when we get the access to the other quests, I can explain when those come. But for right now, let's clear out the Kyass ones, and then we will move on here. We do have to explore some other Avernum towns first. I have met with Kyass. Often looks more and more worried as you proceed through the tale. Worrying, strong defenses, great ambitions. As I thought, Kyass is dangerous. Avernum cannot afford to surrender any more resources than it has. We need to act, but first, you are rewarded with a pouch of silver coins and a ring. What do you think should be done to Kyass? He should be given a message. He needs to leave. If he doesn't leave, he needs to know that he will be driven out violently. It is a dangerous message, but it needs to be sent by someone strong who can put up a defense if Kyass reacts badly. Someone like you. Okay, so there are two ways you can go about this. You can either say a big F you to Kyass and just proceed with Hofton's quest and then lose out on all, but you do lose out on all the training, all this other stuff that is at the Freehold. Or you can simply allow Kyass to stay where he is. You can actually select this one, deliver the message, and then remark how Kyass should be able to stay at that point if you feel like changing your mind by then. But for my playthrough, I am going to stick with what are the canon choices in the game, because this is a full trilogy, and I am going to stick with the canon choices. And that's why I'm going to say, just go ahead and say, I think Kyass should be allowed to remain where he is. Then you are as foolish as all the others. You give our caves away one after another until there is nothing left for us. I tire of everyone's doubts. Leave me. Okay, and you kind of gave us a useless reward anyway, because I don't even have an archer in my party. But yeah, the canon choice is for our group to let Kyass stay where he is. I don't know if that really counts as a spoiler because they only hint at it in a future Avernum game, but yeah, if you want to follow the canon choice, then you should just go ahead and let Kyass stay where he is. If you want to see more of Kyass' reaction to it, you could accept the quest, and when you reach back to Kyass, you can say, well, I think you should just go ahead and stay. And then, you know, that would be fine. Personally, I think even not knowing what the canon choice is, I think it's more worth it to let Kyass stay anyway, because you get training, you get rewards, you get way more rewards doing all of Kyass' stuff. And Hofton's reward is not nearly as good as that, especially if you carry it all out all the way. So yeah, that's why I just let Kyass stay, even if I didn't know it was canon choice. And besides, yeah, Kyass let Avernites in. Anyway, he let our group in, even though we're clearly Avernites. So yeah, he doesn't want any war. I think it's more than fair to have his own like state, region, stuff like that. So I just think Hofton is way too paranoid about all this. But that's why we're gonna let Kyass stay and carry on here. In the meantime, we are gonna go back to Bantria. I have aided Kyass. You tell her the tale of your battle with Thynak. Thynak, eh? I know of him. You have aided me with another bit of unfinished business. Well done. Another fool and annoyance to Emperor Hawthorne has been removed. Your reward has been earned. She gives you a pouch of gold coins and a ring. Do you have any more work for me? I do. A resource as useful as you needs to be utilized. There is a dragon named Pyrog. It lives somewhere to the west. It is an enemy of Avernum, and all dragons are doomed to die by decree of Emperor Hawthorne. But what I care about is a set of magical papers the creature owns. A spell tome is still on the surface before it fled into the underworld. Recover it from the beast's lair and bring it to me. Where is Pyrog's lair? Oh, west somewhere. Tell me more about these tomes. Oh, you know, magical knowledge, power, information that will be very much in demand. Although I can outbid any interested parties for the papers. What will you do with the tomes? Take them back to the surface, of course. Empire law forbids Avernites to have access to the knowledge they contain. Okay, so we have another person that wants Pyrog's papers. And yes, we can choose who to give the stuff exactly to. And this is way better of a rank for Beatrix than the one we have, so we're going to put that on her, of course. And once I find the third person that's going to no doubt want Pyrog's papers, I can explain further of what you can do here. But in the meantime, we are just going to move on here. This is a small fishing village on this island, drawing meager but reasonable catches of pale, slimy fish from the lake. There are not only humans here, but a small number of sliths as well, living in an uneasy peace with their neighbors. News of your exploits has reached these simple folk. They invite you to eat fish stew and to tell them of your adventures. Eventually, warmed and full, you depart. Alright. Blosk north, Tower Patrick 30 miles south, Castle 40 miles east. There is a slip guard post here. You approach slowly, ready for a pitched battle, and are surprised to see them move aside to let you pass. They are guarding a stone barrier erected to keep raiders from the north from reaching Kyass. You pass them peacefully. Oh, speaking of Kyass, we can act. I was going to go to Bloth here, but let's go to Kyass instead. Alright, before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and save the game right here, and I'll see you all soon with the next part.